What's up, otakus? Long time no see. Actually, we were just on live earlier on Paul's channel. Uh, Go follow Paul in the 619. Um, love that dude. He's great. And today we got to hang out with the Black Order Comic Club, um, and great community member Ryan Cueva. He's doing some interesting stuff in the community space. Um, Go check out the video. We interview him. Got a pretty cool original art collection. Very jealous. And again, just celebrating our community, the API heritage community. Just so proud of um, all the great people, uh, you know, not just in our community, but just the people recognizing the everyday contributions that this large umbrella, it really is a large umbrella. I mean, when you say Asian, I mean, really, what are you talking about at this point? It's like there's such a, um, there's so many different identities within that frame. Um, and we're all so different, none of us are really, um, you know, there's so many different regions, dialects. I mean, you know, it's just so broad. It's almost a disservice to group all the, literally, a third of the world's population into just like one grouping. Um, but that's what's also so great. It kind of, that term unifies us as a minority group here in the U.S. But again, um, that unification behind, I think, our shared, we're obviously very different people from different parts of Asia and the Pacific Rim. But what's wonderful is that we all kind of um, have this sort of shared experience in the U.S. and that's what's great. It's like you, as an Asian American, I think, as diverse as we are, we also have a sort of like a kinship, where where people in Asia itself, you'll have these like conflicts, people just kind of hating on different nationalities, but you don't really see that here in America. I think as an Asian American community, we all accept each other's differences and don't harbor any kinds of resentments or things like that. So it's interesting that that dynamic would play out here in the U.S. because they're kind of grouped together and we kind of have to have each other's backs. Where from where we come from, it's quite a different story. But anyway, I don't want to get too, uh, you know, I'm enjoying API Heritage Month, hanging with the people I have been, Naman Hyung, Alan, Alan Wu, Ryan Odegawa, and of course this year new to the contributions is Paul. Paul's been great. So just looking forward to just having this sort of core group of people and continue to, check in May and do fun stuff together. So it's always been good. And with that being said, last API Heritage Month, we featured a wonderful channel, Raph from Raph Comics. I think that's the channel name. Raph's like Spectacular Comics or something like that. But Raph is arguably one of my favorite channels to watch, because he puts so much time in. I'm assuming he does, but it just seems like he puts a lot of time and effort into researching the topic. He's obviously very knowledgeable about comic books, huge collector, been a collector for a very long time, and really, I think, kind of one of our ambassadors of the hobby. And that's a term not to be, handed out lightly, because you really do need is a combination of things, but you have to have not only passion, but a long history in the hobby, being knowledgeable, having an incredible collection. All of these sort of things kind of nominate and qualify you for being an ambassador. Like, you can be a member of the comic book community, but there are guys like Roger, Raph, just a few members are like, they have the pedigree to really represent, I think, our hobby well. I don't consider myself even close to that kind of status. And yeah, I mean, my collection is pretty pale in comparison to a lot of people out there, but I do want to just recognize Raph, and he put out a really fun video. I'll try to link it somehow to this, where he covers the top humor books. Hey, what's up, Jens? My bro. Hey, what's up, Ron? Ron took a nap and he's back. Yeah, so Raph put out this great video where he just did a top 10, and I think he got the idea from another one of his buddies in the community, but basically showing off like his top 10 humor covers. And humor is in the eye of the beholder, kind of like beauty, right? What you think is funny might not be funny to somebody else. It might be offensive or something like that. But we all have comics in our collection that kind of make us crack up, right? It's a funny cover. Maybe it's a funny comic book. And I really enjoyed the books Raph showed off, what was humorous in his collection. So I just kind of prepared some 10 books, that sort of the ones that came to mind for me. Obviously, there's probably more in my collection that could have made this list, but sort of a very just casual flip through. A lot of the humorous ones are favorites in my collection, so I know exactly where they are. And yeah, let's get into it. We're going to show off the top 10 humor books in my collection. We'll just say funny covers. I guess that's a good way to do it. Funny covers. I know he coined the videos as top 10 humor covers, but it's sort of the same concept. I'm just going to put these in order here a little bit. And we'll go from there. Some of these are like, yeah, one's just like iconic. You gotta kind of put that at the forefront here. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. All right, let's get it started here. So first off, I want to kind of show off the book that Raph had on his list. And let me see if I can share my screen here. So this is one book that Raph had on his list, and I do think it's a funny cover. It could have made my list because it is, a lot of these Silver Age Superman, even some of the Golden Age books are quite funny. Superman has a sort of a tendency to have a lot of different themes, but definitely one ongoing is one where Superman's in a ridiculous kind of situation, or it's meant to incite some kind of amusement or humor, and this is definitely one of them. And right, it's pretty, yeah. Although some people might find this a little offensive. It's just making fun of larger people, but again, it's not on my list, but I did want to recognize this as one of Raph's books. All right, for me, this has always been sort of the funny one. It's Jim Lee. He's shackled to his drawing station there, and he's kind of like bringing these characters to life, right? You got kind of Will's Portacio sleeping in the background. Scott Williams just bored, waiting for Jim to finish so he can ink. You've got I don't know who this dude is. I don't know who that's supposed to be, but I'm sure it's maybe someone in his inner circle. But yeah, this is a Jim Lee, first Jim Lee in comic books, I guess. cover homaging himself, and then he's just having this sort of daydream where Psylocke pops up in the sexy Psylocke, sexy with a PS, right? So I always get a kick out of this cover. It's just it's one of those fun moments, I guess. Kind of Jim poking fun at his situation there at Marvel, where they had him just constantly working on books, and he has to, meet the deadlines and all that. So he doesn't really have an opportunity to go outside and do stuff. So I just thought that was funny. Yeah, great book, and I hope to get this signed by Jim at some point, just because this is, I think, one of those books you would want his signature on, since he's on the cover and he did the cover. So it's just a no-brainer. All right, moving on. We've got this one also is just, it might not be funny to some people because there's a little bit of ageism going on here. But yes, featuring Lois Lane's old age. Auntie Lois. Oh man, that's a low blow. Come on, Clark being extra cruel here. Don't work too late, Auntie Lois. You must go to bed early now that you've reached your old age. Now that I'm suddenly grown old, my rival Lana Lang has a clear field with Superman. I love how they in this clear field. That's such such a dated term there. Clearfield and Superman. Oh, for the days when I was young and beautiful, but they're gone forever. Um, yeah, it's just, it's looking extra old and sad there. Oh, that's a classic right there. That's a must have classic whistling book you have to have, and just hilarious. This one I also just get a kick out of. It's a celebration, obviously for the people who love Superman. It's a celebration, and for the people who hate Superman, uh, they're having a miserable time. Unhappy birthday. Um, yeah, this is the classic Neil Adams cover here. Roger hooked me up by pressing and cleaning this book, and it just has new life. It absolutely looks like a different comic. Looks and feels. There was a tactile issue with this book. It was very rigid and stiff, and a lot of humidity and moisture exposure on this comic, and now it's smooth, shiny, feels like $1 million in my hands. Oh man, thank you again, Roger. Um, and Superman and his pals, thank you. All right, well, moving right along. What are we on? We've done 4 books already, so we're on number 6. Another Lois. Lois is kind of speckled throughout this book because her books tend to be somewhat humorous. They always make her sort of the butt of the joke in these books. And in this instance, yeah, like she's a babysitter for Super Baby, and she tries to spank him and ends up busting her hand. And look at this, they've hit him with a tennis racket and a brush. Um, this was kind of the norm back in the day. You just kind of took like a belt or like a paddle to your to your kid's bottom. Um, this is not condoned, obviously, today, but you know, back in the Silver Age, it was yeah, uh, very funny situation here because obviously Super Brat's not feeling a thing there. Um, yeah, just love this. And this is another book Roger worked on for me. Obviously, there were some issues during the process, and didn't quite turn out the way we wanted it. But book, in terms of its um, uh, presents really nicely here, the art portion of it. So really happy. All right. Another one. This is actually this is a great comic book too. I had the fortune of reading this not too long ago on the channel, and it's got issues, but in terms of its eye appeal, I mean that's as high grade of a book as you can get for this age. I mean, it looks fantastic. It's a clean cover detachment. It is a detached cover, but the cover itself. I mean, look at the back here too. It's just looks phenomenal. It was pressed and cleaned, and there's just not a lot of issue or color break. Colors are still very vibrant. Um, I love this. And yeah, it's kind of hilarious. First off, it's a very stylish and colorful cover. We've got Kurt Swan here, just giving us a masterclass on cover art here. And then you've got the humorous part of this book, the jealous Lois Lane. Uh-oh, the warning light of this emotion machine is registering my jealousy as I watch Superman kiss my rival Lana Lang. I'm sunk. Superman hates jealous women. Oh man, that's just classic stuff right there. That is classic stuff right there. Continuing on, man. This is. If you don't find this funny, there's something wrong with you. We got the world's finest bums here. Since I lost my superpowers, it's a job just to pump up this flat tire. We're all washed up, Superman. All I have left is this broken down Batmobile. So we got, yeah, how our scheme worked, that girl. I have made those heroes has-beens. The world's finest has-beens. There you go. Again, classic cover here. Really fortunate to get this in high grade. I mean, it's got one little issue, that little corner crease there, a couple color breaks here and there, but overall, man, this is just another phenomenal looking book. I mean, you could probably, I don't think this book's been pressed yet, so you could probably clean and press and take this up a little notch here. But still looks incredible as is. Oh man, get that classic first Supergirl and Barbara Gordon together. How do you like them apples? All right. We're getting a little modern here. I know we've been pretty much doing straight up like Silver Age stuff, but the modern stuff has funny stuff too. We've got this great. Okay, I'll admit this cover has nothing to do with the story this month, but I've got to do something to sell this book. So she's just taking off her top here. Um, 90s She-Hulk. I mean, is there anything more adorable, sexy, and just hilarious than 90s She-Hulk? Probably not. Now, one book that probably would have made this list that I don't have, but it's well high up on my want list, and I almost picked it up, I think, last summer, 2 summers ago. Um, and that's the jump rope issue, the infamous naked jump roping issue, and it's a it's a highly valuable and sought after key. John Byrne artwork, John Byrne cover, and really just also a very just hilarious concept for a book. It was controversial because of the just the whole situation of it. You know, her and jump roping naked, and just covering up some of the parts. And yeah, the book itself is. I mean, this whole series is full of just humor. But you have books like this that kind of stand out because of their just really funny covers here. And yeah, absolutely lovely cover there on that one. That is a keeper. That's not going anywhere. And of course, you know, this is also very classic, um, where it's volume 2, number 1. Okay, now is your second chance. If you don't buy my book this time, I'm going to come to your house and rip up all your X-Men. Um, and, you know, there's a famous follow up cover where I think it's the last issue in the run, and she's um, threatening to rip up all the Spider-Man and everything like that. So these are again just a fun run, a lot of fun covers, And this is classic because of the humor of the situation. All right, we got some Bronze Age goodness here. I think this is number 2 on the list. And we got the Super Hamburglar, the Super Wimpy. Wimpy is the Popeye character that loved hamburgers. But yeah, it's just great, hilarious cover where Superman's just eating all these hamburgers at super speed, and yeah, there's this like line of waitresses with trays of hamburgers, just like, go, man, what's going on here? Um, so yeah, this is a book I picked up, I think, last year, and I love it. I just love this Bob Oxford cover here, because the situation is absolutely ridiculous, and that's what I love about sort of the older comic books. And it might be a criticism for others, but you got to remember, comic books were supposed to be fun. It's like you were the more fantastical, sort of ridiculous, kind of uprooting reality for a little bit for kids. Um, Obviously, comic books were a primary source of entertainment for a lot of kids growing up, and then it eventually got replaced with radio and TV, video games, and now kids have just so much. They can enjoy whatever they want. There's so much out there to really suck up your time. Um, but definitely comic books remained a big, and I think still to today, it's like with the art, the storytelling, and all that, it's definitely a good thing to have your kids not only read and enjoy, but um, just understand sort of the rich history of this medium. Damien, earlier, I was watching a video he posted. Apparently, Portland has this Northwest Museum of Comic Book Art, and there's a Will Eisner exhibit that showcases original art, original comic book pages by the Hall of Fame writer and artist. And I actually like Jens. When we go down to Portland, we're gonna have to go to that museum because I'm still hoping that the Will Eisner um, that will still be running there. I'm hoping they'll continue to showcase it through the end of the year, so we have an opportunity to go. But, I mean, we're so short on time. It's like to go stop at a museum and look at the art while we're trying to pick up the. It almost seems like we have to make 2 trips or something. But just I do want to like try to catch it at some point. Maybe go early, like for an hour, and then go hunt comic books. I don't know. We're gonna have to coordinate that, but um, yeah, it looks like an incredible exhibit, and Damien's definitely fortunate to be close by to go, um, kind of go, whenever he has the bandwidth to hang out there. Uh, cool stuff. All right, back to the list, and we've got our number 1 humor cover, and I was on with Paul and Ryan and Naman Young today, and we were really marveling at Ryan's original comic book art, like commissioned art. Um, a lot of incredible pieces. I mean, he even has a commissioned Peach Momoko original cover, or no, he has an original uh, cover art piece by her, um, and that's stuff like it's hard to get into today because it's just one of those things like these art prices are just so exorbitant now. I was talking about there's a guy in our community, Bill Wu, who back in the 90s just had the foresight to, like, you know what, I'm going to buy up Jim Lee original art covers, Todd McFarlane original art covers, just like the original art from that period. And he had this incredible collection of like cover art, interior art by those artists, like the 90s boom artists. And again, he sold them all. He bought them at a relatively cheap price compared to what they're worth now, and then sold them, like, over the past couple years, and made a fortune off them. And he continues to have these relationships with the artists where he's like, I guess, gets first dibs to, you know, bid on the artwork or, you know, name a price. And I just find that just incredible. But you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars for these art pieces, and that you could probably turn around and, if you get lucky enough, you're selling them for 10, maybe even 100 times what you purchased it for. So, yeah, that's pretty incredible to be able to do that. But I have one, I have a few kind of one of one original art pieces, and I do want to show one off because I do love this piece here. It's by our friend Alex Bustos up in Vancouver, Canada. And I commissioned her to do this piece for me. And it took her, I want to say it took her about like a month and a half, or maybe 2 months of, um, we initially had like a kind of meeting where I told her kind of what I wanted in terms of the artwork, and she took notes and worked on it. And then I picked it up from her when I went to Vancouver to for a show, and she did an incredible job here. Um, this Wonder Woman book, but it's a wraparound. So I'm just going to show you kind of what this book's all about. We got Wonder Woman here on the front cover, and then on the back cover we've got Lois and Clark with the it's a meme. It's the jealous girlfriend meme. uh, and yeah, we got Lois and Clark here caught in a little love triangle. Lois getting jealous again. Um, Clark obviously turning around to look at Wonder Woman. Uh, yeah. Uh, Again, I wanted this. I told her this is the scenario I wanted. I showed her the meme. And I said I want this to be like, Lois Clark and Diana. Um, and yeah, she uh, did did a wonderful job. So just really happy with this again original art piece. Really fun cover here. And again, 101. This, I think I'm the first one to actually um, do this on a comic book cover. So if you start seeing this kind of concept pop up, the jealous girlfriend meme, Um, make sure you give Otaku the credit here for being the first to do it. Have the concept there. Yes, the only true Wonder Woman is Linda Carter. Man, Linda Carter, she looks fantastic still. She's like what, in her 80s or 90s, and looking hot as ever, man. Um, and yeah, I mean, I kind of want to go back and watch all those nine or 70s episodes of Wonder Woman, but you know, I don't know. It's just a little too provocative. I don't know how I'm gonna get through a whole season without some issues there. So Linda Carter, yes, definitely. The She made that show very popular. Is she 74? Okay, I thought she was older. Ron with the keeping us in check with the facts. All right, 75, July 24th, one day before my oldest son's birthday. Okay, nice. Her birthday's coming up. Happy birthday to what, our Wonder Woman on July 24th. And that's it. I just kind of wanted to go on. It was, I am going to go on tomorrow night too. Tomorrow is our regularly scheduled Otaku Weekly. And we've got a bunch of cool stuff coming up on AAPI Heritage Month. And we've already featured a bunch of cool artists and community members. But next week, I am interviewing Alan Wu, comic book writer and creator. And just going to check in and see kind of what he's been up to. He has been one of our panel members and has interviewed some great people already. So, yeah, if you're not following him on Instagram, go and give him a follow and promote his stuff. He's put put out some incredible comic books already, and we definitely want to support his efforts. So go and do that. And yeah, join me again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel here. I guess I should say same super time, same super channel. Um, Super Otaku Weekly. We're gonna prepare our books of the week. You know, the news and stuff that caught our attention through our collection, and we'll see you there tomorrow. So everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.